The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour represent Ryan Hoppe and past it. Listener discretion is advised.
Live from Tampa Bay, you are tuned in to Hoppe Hour.
He's the voice of a generation that got screwed by the baby boomers. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour starts in 4, 3, 2, Hoppe. Hoppe, Hoppe. This is Hoppe Hour with Hoppe and Allessia.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Yes, Allessia. This is Hoppe Hour. How's it going, Allessia?
It's going great, Ryan. Happy
you hear
to be
this
here.
music? It's not the usual intro.
Yep, it's making
This time it's NFL on Fox Music. Why? Live on Hoppe Hour, which is recorded at my apartment. Former NFL player Kourtnei Brown is on the show. What's happening, bro?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Same old, man. I met you about 4 months ago on the old Beckles and Retcher afternoon show on 95.3 WDAE, and I just immediately digged your vibe, and I wanted to have you on my show back then, but back then I didn't have a co-host, and I just felt like it wasn't the time. Like, this feels like perfect alignment.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes. 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-494-6773. We have so much to get into. How was your drive in, Kourtnei?
Not too bad. Just right over the bridge.
It's perfect, man. Do you miss playing football? Do you miss anything about it, or do you ever look back on it and you're just glad you're not playing anymore?
I miss football. I do.
What do you miss so much about it? What was so great about playing football? Like, because I'm sure there's a lot of downs, but there's a lot of ups too.
Just being able to be physical, to play relentless, and that whole aspect. You make a great play. The crowd goes wild, the fans, the energy. I miss all of that.
Do you miss the reporters? Like, what was your relationship like with the reporters in the media?
Oh, no, we was fine. I never had any issues,
Because a lot of times, and you'll see this when you watch games, it seems like some reporters always want a certain player to fail to fit their agenda for clicks.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's. I feel like they got a job.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel that all the time. Like, it's a job at the end of the day. Like, if they don't write a mean column or they just write some average article, no one's going to click on it. But a lot of those go get you moments, Allessia, are the moments that like are going to get popular. It's kind of like being a paparazzi. A lot of sports reporters, there's two versions of them. The ones that want to cover the sport are the ones that want to be tabloid reporters, but there's too many tabloid reporters, so they're like, I'm going to bring that angle to sports journalism. It's very evident.
Yeah, I actually always wanted to be a sports journalist, so I find it really interesting, our next video that we're about to play.
So Saturday, or no, it was not on Saturday. Sunday, the Buccaneers played the Cincinnati Bengals, and they were looking good, my man. They were up 17-0, and right when they kicked the field goal to go into halftime, I immediately knew we lost this game. The fact that they were going into halftime, the Super Bowl, not the champions, but the team that went to the Super Bowl that was this close to winning, a 14-point lead for Joe Burrow is nothing. I feel like if it was 17 points for some reason, I'd be a little more comfortable. But right when they kicked that field goal, I went, game's over. I had no confidence in the team. What were you thinking when halftime was going on?
I really don't feed into the game, at halftime because it's 4 quarters. To me, the way I look at it, that gives the team, times to go in and, regroup, figure out, a better game plan or to make those adjustments, because third quarter, that's really, it's like a new game, and it can go any kind of way. And we've seen that happen several times where a team can go in and be down, or it could be close, and after the half they get blown out, or anything can happen.
Kourtnei, I have a question for you. Did you prefer NFL or college football? Because you played for Clemson, and I personally prefer college football. I think the players take more of a risk, whereas in the NFL, I think the players aren't as risky because they're trying to preserve their bodies. That's kind of the statement I always kind of chat about with my friends. So what is your take on NFL versus college? Do you think the college players are trying to prove themselves in hopes of getting to the NFL, so they're taking bigger risks? You see those fun plays, and NFL is more preservation of the body, or am I completely off with that statement?
Well, no, I mean, it's guys collegiately and professionally that, play relentless and use their body, beat their bodies up. The game itself is very, physical, but I will say from college, I would say it's probably more exciting because you got
college is a different energy.
It's a different energy, man. You're trying to, produce and play for the team at the same time. You're trying to make it to the next level, versus when you pro, you're already there. So, you may have to compete against the league or things like that, and on top of that you are getting paid. So some guys may not be as hungry as they once were in college.
Yeah,
pros.
I can see that.
So it's a blessing and a curse having ADHD, Kourtnei. So for me, if I work out before I go to bed, if that's the only time I have during the day, or if I go to boxing class, I sleep really well, but it takes a minute for me to unwind. And that's just me working out for 20 to 30 minutes. What is it like going to bed after an NFL game? I can only imagine you get home at 12:30 or 1, and there has to be that WTF moment where you're like, I just played in the National Football League. Is it kind of hard to unwind, or do you view it like any other job and you just want to go to bed?
Yeah, what's the recovery like? Please tell us.
I've always been fascinated.
Do you ice bath?
Yeah, no, you got to take care of your body for sure. That comes with being a pro. And, for me, I think it started with whether we won or we lost.
Yes.
So if we won, depending on the game or the situation, I might, if the guys are doing something, hang with them. If not, I'm going home. But 9 times out of 10 for me, it's like I'm trying to get into bed.
I feel like a lot of times for some of the players, their bank accounts, like Vince Young, when they won the game, they spent way too much money when they went to the club. You hear about some of them, and now they're broke, and you're like, damn, dude, you probably shouldn't have spent as much. If you hear about all the things, or Gilbert Arenas, who used to play for the Washington Wizards, he's broke now. All those guys just flew through it, bro. It's crazy.
I could see if I was an NFL player, I could see myself doing that. Just personally.
You would, after a loss, you would take it so to heart that you would go on like a midlife crisis shopping spree.
Well, every team that comes to town, if like the player, like I feel like, I don't know how it is with NFL, but I know when I was hanging out with some of the Lightning players afterwards, they would have the other teams, like they would take them out and show them the town, right? So I feel like I'd be that host where I would take the other players on the opposing team out after the game and be like, let's hit up Burns, or let's do this if I had all the money. And then
hit up Burns. That's why you're going to go broke.
And I would blow through my money for sure. But I'm surprised with the NFL, there's no like post-game stretch, or like you have a warm-up, but like after the game, you kind of just hit the showers and your body, I don't know, goes into shock. Maybe you don't hit the showers. I feel like there should be like a cool down or something after something so strenuous like an NFL game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's in place, but it's optional to that player.
Right.
Everybody's... some guys is like, yeah, I got to leave. I'm ready to go.
Right.
You're flying home, driving home,
It's over. Work's done. Clocking out.
Some stay, watch film. Some take care of that, It's optional.
Right.
So you're a very likable guy. So I know that you probably never had any issues in the locker room when it comes to dealing with the media. Am I right? I don't imagine you going, hey, leave.
No,
I don't
he's
imagine
easy going.
I don't picture you like getting mad at a reporter. I actually think you would talk a lot for them, and they'd be like, wow, we got a lot of good sound bites. You know what I mean? Because some players, when they talk, they're like, yeah, like Marshawn Lynch back in the day. Like they give the short answers, and then you have the guys like that.
Well, like he said, some of them are ready to go. So I noticed that during certain interviews that you can tell what players could care less that they're being interviewed post game because they're ready to go and their answers are so short.
And also, I have no athletic skills in my body. I might be the most unathletic, most uncoordinated person to ever live on this planet. But at the same time, if I was a professional athlete, I think they would have to end a post-game conference in the middle of me talking. Like, usually it's them saying to the media, thank you for coming. They would be like, okay, we've had enough. I can see myself just talking till 3 a.m.
That's funny. That's why you're in radio.
And that is why I'm not a running back like...
well, you were injured all year.
We have to hear that voice. I didn't mean to say that. So during the third quarter, you have Giovanni Bernard with the fumble. What was your take? I mean, before we get to the video, what was your take of that Giovanni Bernard moment?
Hey, it's part of the game, you know. It's gotta.
Ryan, explain the fumble to me because I didn't see it. What happened?
I don't even really know how to explain it. Can you explain it, even though you're the host? So pretty much they were going for it on like 4th and 10.
This is Ryan's sporty explanation.
Yay!
Okay.
And we'll get to the term sports ball in a second. But pretty much everybody knew that they were going for a fake punt, but the running back didn't know, so he wasn't helping out with the play. And then the ball got fumbled, and then the Bengals got the ball, and then the Bengals got like a field goal, and I believe they were down 17-6. Anyway, so Jenna Lane and Greg Auman, both reporters for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they spoke to Giovanni Bernard, quote unquote, spoke to Giovanni Bernard, and I have the video here. I'm going to play it for 1 minute, and then I'm going to immediately go to Kourtnei because you played in the locker room, or you didn't play in the locker room. You were in the locker room all the time and dealt with the media and dealt with their vibes. So I want to have you picture that you're right next to Giovanni Bernard during this and what you would think of this. All right, this is from Jenna Lane, ESPN on Twitter.
I'll talk to you this week.
Well, you were injured all year.
What have you done for us to talk to you about all year? I talked to you Tuesday. Don't say you're not talking because I didn't talk to you all year.
You were also injured most of the season, too.
Hold on. Just relax.
Can I go to my family that I have outside? And
you
all
can.
Of a sudden now?
Just don't say we didn't talk to you all year.
We just wanted to ask for your perspective on what happened there.
You're involved in one of the biggest plays of the game.
Okay.
Thank you, Jude.
I appreciate your time. We do.
We won't hold you.
We would have talked to you in the season, but also you were injured.
Just tell us what occurred on the punt.
Miscommunication, that's all it was on my part. I take complete fault for that.
Was it a fake?
I don't know. It was complete fault. My fault. That's it.
Is this something the team hasn't practiced
It's
this
all
week?
me. All me. That's something I did wrong, and that's all.
So you were
It was all
aware?
on me. Yep, number 25 out there, that was me. I was the one that did it.
But were you aware
It was
that
just
a
me.
fake?
Yeah, I messed up.
I understand that, but we're just asking if you knew it was.
I
We
messed
just
up.
didn't know if it was a communication
Yeah, I
breakdown.
messed up.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Kourtnei, what is your take as a former NFL player?
I mean, I think he handled himself well. You know, like I said earlier, the media got a job. You explained it. You know, but
I did.
At the end of the day, they invaded his space, but at the same time, you have a certain amount of time reporters have to be in the locker room, correct?
Oh, I didn't even realize that. So, Kourtnei, there's a certain amount of time given to the media that they're allotted to be in the locker room and ask questions, and the players are aware of this. Is it in your NFL contract? Because I know the NFL has a code of conduct, and I think in this snippet that we just listened to, he was really trying to hold himself back, and I think that's why he responded.
I would too.
I think he was so frustrated and over it and just trying to answer the short question and get the hell out of there. But I mean, I think he bit his tongue, which again, if I were an NFL player, we know I would blow money, but I also don't think I'd be able to hold my tongue.
Oh my God.
Okay, but enough about me. So Kourtnei.
No, that would be fascinating. You would be fined. You would just be responding to people on Twitter. You'd be like a female Kevin Durant. You'd be like if Kevin Durant was a girl.
I'm still working on controlling my mouth.
Yeah, so is Kevin Durant. Did you see Durant tweeted about it?
What was his response?
Let me load this up here. I retweeted it at Ryan Hoppe Radio. He retweeted Jenna Lane's video and then was responding to people about Jenna Lane, so she's made it. He said, Giovanni handled this like a true pro, which I thought it was kind of funny that Kevin Durant was tweeting about someone being a pro with the media, since he's not usually a pro with the media or anybody that plays with the Brooklyn Nets. They're great players, but they kind of get a little sassy and they make burner accounts and tweet at people. And I feel like he was talking about what he could be working on. Because I did think Giovanni dealt with that like a badass. Like, yeah, it was on me. I mean, how many times do you have to say it's on me? It wasn't like he was blaming somebody else and they're saying, who is the other person? He gave you your answer. Because here's my thing that drives me nuts. I hate when people go, oh, well, they're doing it for clicks or it's good clickbait. You got your journalism degree at the University of Syracuse or somewhere in the Northeast. You went to school for 4 to 8 years. You get your degree. You put in all that money and you're making a good living most of the time covering the sports. Come up with something creative. The idea of, oh, well, she's got to do it for clickbait, because come up with something creative. You already have the outlet of everybody knowing who these reporters are. So it's not like there's some up-and-comer that needs the clickbait to get attention. We already know who these reporters are. We're already following them, and we're only following them because of the team. They get such a big head thinking they matter. You're covering the team. You are covering the team for the fans. People might be fans of your work, of you covering the team, but at the end of the day, you have nothing to do with it. You are covering the team.
I don't know if it was like a miscommunication between them, but she kept asking the same question over and over and over again. He would say,
well, you were injured all year.
What have you done for us to talk to you about all year?
She sort of sounds like a cartoon character, like a Ninja Turtle, like April O'Neil.
You were also injured.
The Turtles. Are they safe? Splinter?
My family that I have outside?
Oh, God. 856-49 Hoppe. Yeah, this isn't the normal sports show now, is it? What is it?
I said this is fun.
No. I mean, you got to keep it real, because
Kourtney said it though. He agreed. He said he took it. He acted professionally and responded professionally, and that's what the guy's tweet said that you quoted too.
And then when somebody is so in the wrong that they want to find something that is wrong with the other side that did nothing wrong, because they don't want to just completely blame the sports reporters. Mm-hmm. So what I mean is, like, I've seen on Twitter, people were like, well, Giovanni could have handled that better, even though the reporters were in his face and repeating things over and over for clickbait because they can't come up with their own idea.
Has Jenna responded?
Has responded on Twitter. She's going after fans that don't have profile pictures. I go, you know what's funny? You know what's funny with haters? They want you to reply. A hater is going to shut up if you don't reply, Jenna Lane. Don't reply to any of them. They want that. They are all losers that are living vicariously, sadly, through sports reporters that are living through the players.
I would love right now, my mind is wandering, and all I can think about is like going on YouTube and searching like the funniest anchor sport report moments in history and having like the top 10 countdown of like funny sporting reporting moments on the field or in a sport, because there's got to be funny ones.
I got you. You're over here thinking I'm not going to have the greatest sports moment in the last 22 years prepared. I think Kourtney's going to really appreciate this video. It's 2002. Yeah. It's 2002. It's the cold, awful city that I never want to go to. Even
Cleveland.
Though I lived there. It sucked. City of Philadelphia. And you said you wanted to see a video. Why is that going off? You said you wanted to see a video of a good sports press conference?
Let's hear it.
I got you this.
Anybody tell you that I missed practice, if a coach say I missed practice and y'all hear it, then that's that. I mean, I might have missed one practice this year. But if somebody say, he doesn't come to practice, it can be one practice. Out of all the practices this year, that's enough. If I can't practice, I can't practice, man. I'm hurt, I'm hurt. I mean, simple as that. It ain't about that. I mean, it's not about that at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but it's easy to talk about. It's easy to sum it up when you just talk about practice. We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice.
Well, Coach,
I mean, listen, we talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example.
I think he's talking about practice, Allessia.
Right. Yeah. Kourtnei, I need your take on this. Like, what? Is he just full of it, or?
No, man. I mean, I'm with AI on that, you know?
Yeah, that's a good 2002 memory. Man, if he played now, he would average 70 points a game. It's unbelievable. If he played now, I find him fascinating because I think we took him for granted because he got really screwed by the NBA commissioner. I forgot his name, but frankly, he doesn't even need to be remembered because he takes all the credit for the league growing, but it was Michael Jordan. But that's besides the point. The way that NBA commissioner treated him and like was mad that he had tattoos and he was a rap artist and now they're all doing it. Allen Iverson was like our savior. You know what I mean? He was the savior for the NBA that everyone took for granted. Now, the problem that Allen Iverson didn't help himself with was the amount of money he spent at gentlemen's clubs. Now, that wasn't
That's
the smartest
probably why he missed practice. I was getting a vibe for sure. Like, he didn't want to answer. He was not injured. He dropped that card. Like, yeah, I was not feeling great. But I want to know from Kourtnei, just because, like, this is your job, right? This isn't some traditional 9 to 5. What's it like? Have you called out sick for practice a game, not just from a physical injury, but like personal reasons, any other reason? I mean, I have missed work because I've lied about having a car problem, right? Do NFL players, have you witnessed that? Have you done something like that? Do you guys use those traditional excuses?
I can't speak for everybody, but for me personally, in my situation, you know, I didn't want to take no Harley days off whenever that wasn't given to me, you know? So whether I was hurt or whatever was going on personally for me, it's like, you know, I got to go. But I believe that there are some situations where guys may have used whatever excuse to to get out.
Yeah.
Athletes have to have that mental discipline, though. Like, that's one of the things on the way over here. I was thinking, like, to be an athlete, you really have to be a mentally strong person, I think. And that comes to going into work, too.
Yeah. Well, I kid when I say, baby mama's here, but I'm being serious. Working in radio, I've been around. And what I'm saying is a lot of times you'll see things that you don't see. Eyes wide shut. You know what I mean? A lot of times when you're around the rich and elite, you go like, if I were to tell anybody what I'm seeing right now, I could lose my job, you know?
Did it depend on what type of player you were, too? Because I'll say this. If you were like, let's say the top tier star athletes on your team, you know, was there more leeway because of who you were? Whereas maybe if you weren't the top player, you didn't take as many risks with calling out for work or getting in trouble. You know, you really watched yourself because you had to keep that position. Whereas you knew if you were top, who am I thinking of that played? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking.
LeBron James.
Nope. Michael Jordan. Green hair. Why is my mind going
Marcus Green.
No, come on.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, right? He's going to Vegas. Michael has to go to Vegas to get him. He's like, get your ass up.
Carmen Electra's naked in bed.
Exactly. Loved that docuseries, by the way. Loved that docuseries. But, Dennis Rodman, as wild as he was one of the top 3 players, along with Michael Jordan for their team. And so Scottie Pippen. Yep, Scottie Pippen. And I feel like they could get away with more.
By the way,
Yeah.
So Tom Brady's getting away with a lot. Is that what you're saying? Just kidding.
You know who's getting away with a lot? Larsa Pippen.
Marcus and I went to UCF together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Marcus Jordan. And now that's what's happening.
Dude, how much of a hot sociopath is Larsa Pippen?
Kourtnei's eyes right now.
Dude, she's wild, bro. Like, it's not even that she's, like, hooking up with people and, like, the body count, but, like, Michael Jordan's son. You're like, damn.
It's that small interconnected circle.
I don't know what to say.
Trust me.
You know,
nothing more needs to be said.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Happy Hour will be right back.
This following segment. By the way, my hair is growing out. I think real well, Allessia. You know what I mean?
Great.
Although wearing headphones all day, like if I ever take a picture with somebody, which is why I had us take the picture before. I'm not kidding. Like literally when I wear my headphones, my hair gets all messy. So the thing though is I take care of my hair and I go to Rich Keeley. He is the best barber in all the Bay Area. He is over on Kennedy Boulevard, right next door to McDonald's at Salon Loft, richkbarber.com. And when you go there and you tell him that I sent you, he will hook you up with a good deal. By the way, we were taking our press shots in Flodelis, Flodelis. Once again, let's do take 3. Flodelis on social media. He took our pictures today, and I think they came out really good.
Amazing. He was such a professional. The pictures look great, and I can't wait to get them up.
So I'm going to tag him on all my social media. His name, he's got a great name, Greg Booty. Greg Booty took our pictures today. And let me tell you, if you need someone to fly drones or you need life advice, or whatever you need, hit him up. This is also being brought to you by Amir Academy of Martial Arts. I'm feeling good.
I know. You went to work out yesterday. How was it?
All the aggression I've had from this last quarter of a year that's been an absolute bitch. From September till now, this year has just... you look at January through June, and it was a different year.
Oh my God, that's literally how I feel too. But continue.
And I took all the aggression since September, all the betrayal, all the idiots that run their mouth, and I saw that punching bag right in front of me, and I was hitting it hard. Even Amir's wife was kind of like looking like, man, you're punching the bag hard, because usually I would half-ass it.
Yeah.
She was like, you should come here and do a 15-minute workout, a 15-minute cardio workout, because I was talking to her. Because I might be the laziest person of all time. I have this MMA trainer as a sponsor of my show.
Right.
I don't go.
He's at your fingertips, at your disposal. He's amazing.
And I went, and I had a 15-minute workout, and all the aggression from this last 4 months, I took out on that bag, and I felt so much better.
I need to go. I really
We should go. We should go as a show.
Oh my! Kourtnei, will you go with us?
Yeah.
Perfect. It's a date.
Also, oh wow, it's a date?
Yep.
Sounds fun.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour. Call Hoppe now. 856-49-HOPPE. Tweet at him at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Or chat him live via the Hoppe Radio app. And now, back to Happy Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
What's going on?
Drop a bomb.
Drop a bomb.
He wants me to drop a bomb right now. You know what this music...
That was a turn.
You know what this music reminds me of? Someone that would say the word sports ball. I find the word sports ball to be...
Let's play sports ball.
There is nothing worse than when you're at a party.
That was a haunting, terrible music.
Is this what it's like being a mother in the house?
I hate this. It's like, ugh. Sounds like a bad toy that won't stop. All right.
Over at Todd Couples. All right. Here's what I'm getting at. I find it absolutely nauseating when you're at a party And a lot of times it's watching the badass NFL players playing their ass off in the Super Bowl. And it's a Super Bowl party and all the dudes are hanging out in the living room.
You're eating guac.
Yeah. And the wives are there and the wives are super cool. And then like one of the wives brings like one of their like nerdy friends who like doesn't watch sports or isn't into it and just watches anime and thinks that watching that is better than sports for some reason. And they're like, oh, so is the sports ball game on? I find that to be the most...
Who has said this to you?
Oh, I've been to many Super Bowl parties. You've never heard the word sports ball.
But maybe they're just there for the dip.
Have you heard of sports ball? You guys have never heard about
First
sports
of all,
ball?
Kourtney's on the field, so he's not hearing anything. And no one says sports ball, Ryan. And if they do, they're just there for the chips and dip.
Yeah.
I just love people, man, that will rip into sports and judge someone for being into it. Oh, you're living vicariously through an athlete or what? Oh, and you're not when you're watching The Bachelorette and you think that's real? Or your fake prank calls on morning radio shows? Oh, those are totally real. But dudes being into sports, watching grown men working their ass off. Oh, wow, heaven forbid. The other thing I don't get is people that judge someone for how long they watch the NFL. That's the most fun 7 hours of the day. Like, I'll hear people go, oh, you spend your whole Sunday? What else am I going to do on a Sunday? I can't really drink because I got to get up on Monday. Sunday's kind of the recharging day, you know?
You know what I like to watch?
What?
Saturday MMA. I really find it so entertaining.
You watch MMA?
Yes, start with the prelims, and then I will watch hockey on TV. I prefer to be in person, but I'm more a hockey fan. Sorry, Kourtney. But yeah, I mean, sports is great. Sports are great. Did anyone? Hello, World Cup, Argentina. Speaking of sports, can we mention that just happened?
No.
Like, no one wants to talk about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got the news clip here. Thousands line for the victory parade.
Take a look at these live pictures from Argentina as the World Cup trophy arrives back in that country for the first time in over 3 decades. And
by the way,
and Messi won his first World Cup, and that's huge.
You know what I love?
Kourtney.
Yeah, no, for sure.
What do you think?
That's great. I think that.
Did you watch the World Cup?
Some of it.
What are your teams if you had to pick? None. Italy?
I don't,
France?
I don't follow it.
Enough to know.
Yeah, enough. But I have heard of Messi and I've watched clips and.
Here's what I love.
You know?
Yeah.
So for me,
Did you watch the closing ceremony? There were performers. I didn't catch it, but after I saw a clip on social media, and there were singers from all over the world getting on stage, and that for me, maybe that's those people that don't really know sports and go watch the Super Bowl. They're watching the commercials or they're watching the post-game event, like the music and the atmosphere. The energy can be felt through the video. It's amazing. That looked amazing if you watched the World Cup.
I love the American soccer fans that are trying to convince other people to watch soccer. And their thing is, well, the World Cup final was so exciting and fun to watch. Yeah, if every soccer game was like that, I would watch every soccer game. But when your sport ends in 0-0 at times, I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch your sport.
You have a point. And it depends on the country. Living in Spain, soccer is life, and I lived for it, and I loved it, and it was exciting. It was part of the culture. Here, not so much. It's NFL.
I just need there to be a winner.
Yeah.
Or at least a tie. Oh, we're going to end in a draw. So pretty much 75 minutes in, you don't really have to try.
I hate a hockey game that ends 0-0 It's not often, but when it happens, it's like, what
did you think about the overtime rules that Roger Goodell added to the NFL about 7 years ago?
For me, you don't want to play the game all night. Or it comes down to, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I feel like if you had to play it all night, that's a good point. I feel like it'd be like baseball where you're there till 4 a.m. missing field goals. And
baseball's the worst. I would watch soccer over baseball. No? What would we rather watch?
The Cubs winning the World Series. I'm from Chicago, so once they won in 2016, I really haven't cared since, but go Rays. But what I'm saying is I would choose baseball over soccer because there's going to be a winner. I can't take you're like 75 minutes in because that's when it should be exciting. When the game's over with, you should, Oh, but we're going to end it 0-0. Woo! Wow. Get the club going crazy with the 0-0 game. Post-game party.
You know what I don't like about the NBA?
What?
Is I feel like when I went to my last Magic game, I sat pretty close and it was cool. But like all these guys are so tall, so athletic, and literally the ball just goes down the court, score, come back.
I love that
score,
with my ADHD.
Score. And I'm like,
it's the best.
What is the... It's so easy. They've reached the net, first of all, and it's like there's nothing to it. It's like they just drop it in.
Are you born and raised in Tampa?
Yes.
That's why. This area, I have never seen such there's nothing they care about with the NBA here.
I like the mascot.
It's so unimportant here.
Orlando
It's
Magic.
making me mad and I can't get words out. Like when you even try to bring up the NBA to somebody, they're like, oh, there's not a team here. It's like, okay, but did you guys watch sports before the Rays?
It was fun to go.
No, we didn't have a team here. I don't know what it is. So I work in sports radio. Only 10% of our audience wants to hear about the NBA. And it's like my favorite sport. And it's crazy. I can't imagine like now wanting to watch the best in the world. And this isn't a comment about you. It's like just when people that are born and raised in Tampa, they're like, go Bucks, go Rays, and go Lightning. I'm not going to look outside the box.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to learn something new. Only going to be Bucks, Rays, and maybe Rowdies.
Yeah. I worked for the Rays and the Rowdies.
You know what the Rowdies are? They're like when you're in Boy Scouts and you get free tickets in a raffle and you're like, let's go to a Rowdies game. I mean, am I wrong? Am I incorrect in saying that?
Well, they're trying to build soccer leagues around the United States.
So cool. When's the last time you were out and about and you were around an American? Not during the World Cup.
Yeah, and they're
going, oh man, did you watch that soccer game? And you have 10 people at the bar knowing what was going on.
A lot of people
like soccer.
Yeah. And for the Rowdies, especially, I saw so many people, they called it Ralph's Mob. Shout out to Ralph's Mob if you're listening.
Yeah.
But they were the mob for the Rowdies, which is like basically the fans that sat in the same section, got the crowd going, had the certain chants every game. And there are passionate people that wanted to see the sport come here, just like there would be if the NBA ended up here in Tampa.
No, there is not. Because the Toronto Raptors were here 2 years ago during COVID because Canada actually saw that COVID was a real thing. They were like the opposite of America. But my point is, so the Raptors didn't allow any Americans into Canada if they weren't vaccinated or whatever. So they had the Raptors from Toronto playing at Amalie, and I went to like 5 games, and they couldn't even get to, it was only allowed to be 25% full at the Amalie, and they couldn't even get to 25%. And there were some good games. It was like
That's
Clippers
sad.
Before, what's his name, got hurt? Leonard? It was Leonard and Paul George. I saw Damian and CJ on the Trailblazers. I saw all these great players. Nobody cared. There were more people outside at the food truck outside of the Amalie than there was at the game.
I wonder if this is a common misconception, because you keep directing this to Kourtnei, and I'm wondering, just because he's an athlete, if we assume that he just watches all sports and knows all sports.
No. I'm just doing my really outgoing thing as a host where I'm just looking at both of you. You're reading way too much into it.
Sorry.
I mean, I do like sports overall.
Yeah.
You know, I would say this. I still enjoy Sundays. You know, for Sundays for football. You know?
NFL Sundays.
Sunday is for football.
Yes. And, you know, so whether I was playing, you know, and now that I'm not playing, I still, you know, it still has the same.
So football's number one. If you had to pick a second favorite sport that you follow, what would it be? Are you an MMA fan?
Yeah. I like boxing. I like basketball. But yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to ask you. So what are you up to now post NFL? Because you are a jack of all trades, man. And I really think it's how likable you are that it's going to take you far, and you've already gone far. So what are some of the things you've been up to in the Bay Area?
Well, I'm a realtor, licensed realtor. So, you know, I was been doing that, and I just started working as a car salesman at Low Key Nissan of Clearwater.
Shout out.
Hell yeah.
And I also make music.
How's the music going? Because I saw you and my photographer were really vibing, Flo Dellis. He's a fascinating guy, Greg. I saw you guys outside. We're vibing about rap music and everything.
Yeah, no, it's going good. I just been dropping singles after single. I'm actually working on another song, which I'll try to.
Is this rap, Kourtnei?
Yes, yeah.
I want to hear this. Is there a way we can pull something up now, or do we have to save it for next show? I want to know. Oh, wait, copyright.
That's the thing.
Well,
even though you're in front of me, I can't play it because Spotify will be like, oh, it's copyrighted. So what I'm going to do in the podcast description on this page is I'm going to have the link to everywhere people can find your work so that they can listen. Because legally, even though I have you in front of me, isn't your name KB the Great?
Yes.
Even though I have KB the Great in front of me and I have your approval, handshake, you can come and rap on my show and I can play your music. Even though I have your approval, Spotify doesn't care. They will shut it down. You can literally go to the headquarters and be like, it's fine, play the music, and they won't let me. So on the podcast description, I'll be sure to give you a mention because your music's really good. And
you do your own lyrics?
Yeah.
And what kind of things do you rap about?
Everything. Well, for me, I try to center everything around, positive and uplifting and motivating,
I love that.
That's like my lane where I'm deciding to stay in.
Yeah.
How do you get into the zone to write? Because I'm good when I speak openly, but I can't write things. Like my creativity just comes to a halt. So I've always had respect for people that write songs. So for you, when you're getting into the zone, how do you come up with what you write?
Typically, it's off of the beat.
So you start with the beat. Are you ever driving or just at work or hanging out with your kids or whatever, and then an idea or a lyric or something comes to you and you have to like jot it down? Or is it always start with like being in the studio, making the beat, and then putting the lyrics to the beat?
Yeah, for me, it's the beat. I work with a couple engineers. They make the beat. They send it to me, and I'll just listen. And whichever one catches me, I'm just, for the rest of the day or days, I'm just listening to the instrumental over and over and over. And at that point, for me, I'll develop a flow of how the song makes me feel, and I'll just later write the lyrics.
I love that.
And that's when I'll be random spots and lyrics will come and, I got to write it. I got to,
Yeah. I like that, to hear people's like work process and how their creative process works. Like a lot of people think of like an idea and then have to think of the beat, but he listens to the beat and then the lyrics kind of flow. I can't wait to listen to your music, Kourtnei. I think that's awesome.
What is your ultimate dream? Like if you could think about where you will take KB the Great, and we're saying this as it's going to happen.
Yeah, we're putting it out there for you.
It's not even just putting it out into the universe, even though I believe in that. But so many times when you talk to somebody about having goals in life, it's with the word I hope or maybe. What is KB the Great going to be when it's all said and done?
KB is going to be someone that, is an inspiration for a lot of people, through, his own life or giving examples, through music. And from there, help, motivate or just enlighten and motivate people on real estate, and how important it is, and just drawing people together, that's, for me, that's my main goal. Like,
would you say that you are a mentor to other people?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I really dig mentors. I have a few, and I think it's a lost art. Like having a really good mentor. Yeah, you can have a good friend or a good father figure, but someone that's like a mentor, it's like underrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think, all of those things is pretty, for me, it's the same, where you can have a conversation with someone that enlightens them, and, you're not necessarily trying to be their mentor, but you give them information that they're like, oh, wow, you made me feel better, or you just gave me an idea, or, and you're not signing up to be their mentor, but in a way you're helping them, So for me, I know there are cases where, whether it's through music or whatever the case may be, I have been that for people, just like people have been that for me,
I think that's great.
I feel that. And I think when you have a mentor, it's so important because you're getting advice but a lot of times it's more harsh than what you might get from a friend or family member, especially a family member that you get advice from, because they're not going to want to go all out on crushing you. But a good mentor will crush you and call you out on your BS, and that is a lost art.
Yeah.
And your kids too. I'm sure your music inspires them. I don't know if it's age appropriate, but at least them seeing daddy do his thing and follow what he's passionate about. And then also with the, you know, the reason being that you want to enlighten and reach people in a positive way. That's really cool. And I know they're seeing that and being inspired by that too.
I always wanted to, personal dream of mine was to play the game of football, you know, until my kids can see me play. And my daughter, she got to see, she was a little, you know, she didn't really remember. I would take her with me when I would work out and train sometimes, but, you know, she ain't really there. But now it's like, you know, I can still have that same effect, you know, from the music world. You know, I can rock a stadium, a crowd, and they can be there and see that, you know. So for me, you know, I'm not gonna lie, that was something that affected me a little bit because I really wanted that to happen. But in the same sense, it still can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or it can happen with me speaking. It could be a number of ways I could, you know.
And
for sure.
The man that really influenced me was Ian Beckles, because I met you through Ian on Beckles and Retcher, and I knew Ian back in my old radio job. And he helped me get my radio job, and I worked for him, and I hang out with him probably 5 times a week. And seeing the way that he was mentoring you on air on Beckles and Retcher, and then how you spread that positive vibe to us being friends, like that was when I was like, I want to do more than just be a radio guy. You know what I mean? So I have this new concept where I have a podcast board. I'm going to bring it to people's houses, and they can record their podcasts. Because the most successful people are not the ones that just wait on the corporations to give them their opportunity. You have to go out there and grow your worth, so then the corporations will put money into you. Because if you're just waiting for a company to pay you, they'll be like, ha, 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 you're part-time forever. But if you go out there and grind and show people your worth, you're going to be better off.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
I think that's crazy that Kourtnei said he had this vision of his children watching him play in the NFL, like that being his stage. But now life has segued into this new passion of his. And maybe that's how it's meant to be sometimes. Like maybe that energy was meant to be there and be put out in that way. And for his kids to see him now on that type of stage is influential too. It's like life has little turns like that, and it doesn't work out. And then we're like, darn, I really wish this had happened. But maybe this way is even better. It's going to have more of an impact.
It's so fascinating because both of you have 2 kids, and I'm here single. Like, yeah, I got my cat over there hiding in the litter box. Like, no. I'm not saying that as a joke. She was literally hiding in the litter box. Again,
these are all of our responsibilities, our babies and our fur babies.
That's my cat meowing during the thunder that came the other day. I had to record it over and over again.
You're making beats and he's recording his cat.
All right, we'll be right back to wrap this up. We all should wrap it up.
Yes. Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour will be right back.
Or you could pull out and hope that works. Oh, yeah. Where should I transition this into? I'll promote my website first. Go to RyanHoppeRadio.com. There has a link to all the platforms I am on. Search Hoppe Radio. Also, this is being brought to you by WestChasePrinting.com. My business cards. If you are a person that has received them and you're looking at them and now you're listening to my show after using the QR code, yeah, I got those from WestChasePrinting.com. Hey, maybe you're going to run for an election and you're going to run for school board, or you're going to run for Congress, or whatever the hell you're going to run for, and you think it's cool to be a politician, and you need yard signs made for some reason. West Chase Printing can do that. If you need yard signs, or your kid just turned 18, yay, my kid turned 18. You can go to westchaseprinting.com and have yard signs made.
Happy graduation.
Yeah, woo. Good luck in life. We're all going to really need it.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
Listen to Hoppe Hour at any time, anywhere. Search Hoppe Radio on all major streaming platforms.
And now, back to Hoppe Hour.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go.
We have so much to get into. This is like the only music bed I can find that's not copywritten. So I'll explain it to you. So I can't play any music on here, even with the approval, or Spreaker, the site I upload to, will just delete my show like it doesn't exist. Like, they'll just delete my episodes and be like, oh, I'm glad I worked hard on that. Well, here's the thing is on YouTube, there are music beds that they claim are copyright free and that you can use, but I'll Shazam it, and then it's a song with 20,000 Shazams that goes right to Spotify. And I'm like, well, that's copywritten. It's very hard doing a podcast, you know what I mean? Because the ultimate goal is to have this on in the morning. Hoppe in the morning with Hoppe and Allessia. I feel like it can happen. Our listens have gone through the roof.
Yeah.
And that was why I brought up the whole sports ball thing. We have so many women that listen. 70% of our audience is women.
Yeah, but now you're saying women say sports ball and we don't.
You don't?
Ooh, Ryan. Ryan.
Just got spicy. So do you know much about Todd?
What are we laughing?
Cracking myself at. You know what? I'm going to take a deep breath.
Yes.
And play this news clip. It's rich people that are going to prison because of tax evasion. Oh, but they were going to get away with it.
Todd and Julie Chrisley, both heading to prison in Florida just a couple of weeks into the new year.
I pray to God every day.
We made a commitment that we were not going to give up.
In docs obtained by ET, the couple's been ordered to report to prison on January 17th to begin their combined 19-year sentence.
Oh my God.
All for tax evasion.
What a way to start your new year. Holy crap.
How about the age I'll be when they get out? I'll be 48 when these dummies get out.
Oh my gosh.
All for tax evasion. They lived a life.
You know, like irrational fears. Yeah. Mine is that I'm going to end up in prison for something like that I didn't think of or that I didn't really do. Yeah. Like that's my fear, that I'm going to end up there. Oh my God. I'm not putting that out in the universe. I don't want to go.
Definitely don't do that.
Okay. I'm knocking on this wood.
Yeah, don't put that out.
Yeah. That's not the vibe.
Oh
I want to get handcuffed by a police officer. That sounds fun.
Courtney, what's your irrational fear? Do you have one?
No,
drowning, sharks, snakes, anything.
I mean, I really don't like heights.
Heights, okay.
Heights scare me, bro.
Yeah, same.
Like, if you go to the top of like a ride at like Busch Gardens.
I went skydiving twice. I went the second time to get over my fear from the first time, thinking it would help, and it didn't. I'm terrified now of heights.
Oh, no third time.
No, well, unless you want to go.
No, I'm actually too heavy.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is there a weight limit?
Yeah.
Maybe a height limit.
Yeah, it's a weight limit.
That's what he's just saying to get out of going.
Knowing my luck, even if I had the world's best person next to me, I would die. I'm so big.
No. Now we're putting really bad things out there. I'm not going to prison. You're not dying from a skydiving accident. We're good.
Oh, man. 856-49-HOPPE. If you want to leave us a message on the iHeartRadio app using the TalkBack feature, please do that.
Can we go back to mentoring for just a quick second?
Sure.
Okay. I work with a nonprofit in the area, Reach St. Pete. Shout out to Lexi, who started Reach St. Pete.
Hell yeah, Lexi.
But we started a lot of mentor programs throughout the Tampa Bay area, specifically in St. Pete, mentoring children through a literacy program. And we do outreach events with the homeless the houseless. And we're looking to rebuild those and pour some time into them. So if you're interested in working with children, check out Reach St. Pete on Instagram or online and help out. You could be a mentor. I did that. We started a few outreach programs and I filled me with more joy than anything.
What's your go-to advice when you're a mentor? Like, what's the most commonly asked thing when you're
I think the biggest thing is one, just being a listening ear.
Yes.
And then my thing is I'm such a nurturer that any of the children I've worked with, I just want to pour so much love into them and let them know like they are like God's gift and they're just they have unique talents and they have a special light. And I just want them to feel that they are unique and special because they are. And I want them to let their light and talents shine. So I just found so much joy doing that. I don't think I poured into them like they really poured into me. You know how it goes when you give, you really receive more.
No, I need to be less selfish.
We have so many things in our
I'm a Virgo. That's what all my exes have said. You're a Virgo. That's why. Do you believe in any of that horoscope?
When's your birthday, Kourtney? April. So you're a Aries. My daughter's an Aries. That's a good sign. Apparently, Aries and Geminis are most compatible.
Yeah.
So that's good.
My daughter's Gemini.
Oh, look at that.
I feel like there's some truth to it.
I think so.
Virgos are bitches, bro, and I'm a Virgo. Like, we're pussies, dude. Like, we take everything seriously.
Okay. The strongest organ ever. That's what you are?
Hell yeah, I am.
Okay. All right. I thought that's how you meant it.
That is what I meant. Allessia is all woke today. Please don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. You fascinate me, by the way.
Do I? What's most fascinating?
Everything. You've just been vibing today.
I have, because Kourtney's here. It's hard not to.
We've been doing this for 56 minutes. Can you believe it?
Look at us.
We've talked about absolutely nothing for 56 minutes. I'm just kidding. We've had a great time. Now, Kourtney, where can people find everything you're up to? If they want to buy a car from you, if they want to get a house from you, if they want to listen to your music, if they want to have you as a mentor, what are all the ways that people can talk to Kourtney Brown?
Through my social media. You can find me on all social medias. My IG is...
He has to look. Don't we all?
We are
I always
such
forget
millennials.
mine. I always forget my handle.
Yes, it's Kourtney Brown __.
And Kourtney, we have to spell your name. It's N-E-I at the end, I think.
Yeah, K.
Yeah, with a K.
Yeah.
I just totally confused that, but...
You're good. Now, Allessia.
Yes.
Everybody's been asking about Allessia lately. I'm at FLZ Jingle Ball, and you got Brian Donovan asking where Allessia is.
Wow.
And you don't even work with me, and you're doing this for $0. How does that feel?
He's kidding.
We're such a high...
I get a stipend.
No.
Just kidding.
You get to, with the 24 hours in a day that you were given, you get to say, I spent one of them with Ryan Hoppe, and he didn't talk over me once.
No, yeah. How
can people hire you?
How can people look me up? Allessia _Calandra on Instagram. I do marketing and photography in the Tampa Bay area for local businesses. So hit me up if your business needs some help. And yeah, I'm doing all the things. Ryan, you didn't even ask.
What did I ask?
I went on my first Hinge date.
Whoa.
Yeah,
you got to tell me a little bit of ahead of time. You can't just...
Okay.
We're doing final plugs.
Okay, let's save it for the next show.
No.
But I am...
No. This is Hoppe Hour, and you are my co-host, and you are my equal, but my name is on it. Rewind.
Okay.
Allessia.
Yeah.
You went on a first date?
I had
on
a first
Hinge?
date. Yep, I did.
How did that go?
Guys, first of all, why this is such a big deal is that I haven't been on a date in nearly a decade.
Whoa.
That's not a joke.
120 months.
It's a long time. And I was not on the dating apps. I thought they were just not for me. And they still aren't, kind of. But
Why?
I did.
What happened?
I dipped my toes in the water and I went out to meet someone. We had some sushi and a drink, and he was a really nice guy. I don't see it evolving into anything, but it was nice to at least get out. Like, that's how scared I was to go. And I finally pushed myself into trying, and it was fine. It was nice to have a conversation with someone and be out of mom mode.
What's fascinating?
Oh, I have to tell you though.
Oh my God, tell me.
This was the funniest thing.
Please tell me.
We're at dinner. Apparently on my Hinge profile, it's not that I think I didn't mean to hide it, but it doesn't disclose that I have children. I have it marked, but it's not visible on my profile. So anyways, he didn't know I had children.
Oh no.
And we're sitting there and, oh God, I can't remember how it came out, but he like made a comment like, oh yeah, it's not like you have 2 kids or something. And my face, like the blood rushed and I kind of like went pale and I was like, actually I do. And he's like, that's so so funny. Don't joke around. And I'm like, no, I actually have 2 children. And that's how that came out.
That sounds fun. Sounds like good vibes.
Yeah, he took it well. It was fine. That's not why we're not seeing each other again. But yeah, I did it. That's it. Cool story.
Now what happened to Allessia?
Now we can.
You finally go on the first date, but you finally got it out of the way.
I did. I was super nervous at first, but yeah, I think it went well. I think it was. I got some sushi out of it.
Allessia, you got to do me a favor though.
What?
While you continue to go on these dates, this is progress. Okay.
Okay.
This is progress. You're doing good.
I'm doing.
You're
baby
making me
steps.
proud.
Yeah.
But unless your ex needs to know what time to pick up the kid.
Yeah, I need to cut that, right?
Yeah. Because then you're not really going towards the future. You're letting the past bring you back. So, don't ever talk to him.
I'm snipping it right here, right now. It's done. I'm not talking to him anymore.
Gentlemen, it's always a smart decision to snip it.
Hoppe Hour.
So normally, no. Normally we end the show on a one-liner, but it's not every day that you have a former NFL player and friend here. So we're gonna properly end the show. That's not gonna be taken out because this show is unconventional as hell. I mean, this show totally should be on NPR. I mean, we would fit right in with all the other shows. Now, Kourtnei. You ready to drop that bomb? Because I've had a lot of fun having you on the show, man. This has been
Me too, Kourtnei. Come back.
You're a good vibe, bro. You're a good time. I digged when you were on Beckles and Retcher. I dig your music. You, my man, are the future of Tampa Bay, and I'm not just saying that.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do, and I'll love to come back anytime you want me to.
You're not too scared off by my hyper talking?
Nah, man.
That's good. You ready to? What's up?
We good.
You ready to drop that bomb?
Yeah, let's drop it.
Hoppe Hour.
Now it's over with.
Money. And like that, he's gone.
Hoppe Hour is now over. Hoppe Hour is now over. Hoppe Hour is now over.